Okay, hello everybody. Well, welcome to the tutorial on AI Speakeasy, and this works with ChatGPT, it works with Perplexity, also works with Claude, and let's get started. I want to show you how this thing works. Okay, so the first thing, once you download it, let's go ahead and pin it to the toolbar. So we're going to go over here, and we'll see it listed here, AI Speakeasy microphone. We'll go ahead and pin it. And then away we go. Now let's click on this right here, and you'll get the welcome screen. Welcome, thank you for downloading and trying it out. Shows you how you can use it, all the different steps there. It shows you the keyboard shortcuts. It'll show you how you can change the keyboard shortcuts. Well, I'll show you that in just a minute. But I want to just show you basically how I want to show you a notification you may get, so you don't freak out or anything like that. Now, the reason why I have this notification is because originally when I put this together, I used the default keyboard shortcut Command-Shift-P on the Mac, works great. Shift-Alt-P on Windows, I didn't notice at the time, but that's actually has a conflict with the system-wide keyboard shortcut for the print monitor, the print pop-up. So sorry about that. I apologize for that. I wasn't aware. I work off of the Mac, but at any rate, I do provide the ability to change the keyboard shortcut, and had a tutorial on that. And if you look here, it shows you how you can change it and so on. But I don't know. I understand a lot of people don't just want it to work right away. They don't want to have to customize anything, and people don't like to read or whatever. So some people got frustrated, and I apologize, for that. But anyway, what I did was I changed the default because I need to have a default that doesn't have a conflict. So, but I want to show you this message you might get if you're already using it. You may get this message right here. They'll say, in order to avoid conflicts, change the default. Now you could just close this thing down, or you could just say, don't show this again. And actually in here I'll show you how you can change it, but I'm going to say don't show this again because we never really need to see that again. All right, and that's just a notification because I do care about the user experience. I want people to have a nice, easy, enjoyable experience. Okay, so we're going to go here, and the next thing we want to do is we want to customize keyboard shortcuts. So let's just do that. Okay, so here we are. It tells you in the very first bullet you can change it. You can go down this section here. Okay, but okay, so we'll go down here, and we'll just, you could directly go to this, or you can click on this button, or you can click here. Doesn't really matter. And what it does, and I try to make this convenient for you guys, and it's kind of fun, right? So you click on that, and then it copies to your clipboard, and all you have to do is just go over here and paste it in, hit enter, and voila, you're here in the keyboard shortcut section. Now you may not have noticed that this actually exists, because I think this is an area that everybody's familiar with. If you work with extensions, you can see all this, but you may never have actually clicked on this. So this is your section where you can modify keyboard shortcuts. Okay, so this is what we want to do. So let's just say, even though there's no conflict on the Mac with the Shift Command Y, maybe I like to use a Control Space, whatever. So maybe that feels a little bit more convenient for me. So how do you do it? You click on the pencil here. So we'll click on the pencil, and you click on simultaneously the keys that you want to be your new shortcut. So in my case, in my specific example, I'm going to use Control Space. Okay, and there it goes. So now we're good. We're ready to go. That's all you got to do. And then there's no save. It automatically saves. So we're going to go over here. I'm going to hit refresh, and then we're good to go. All right, so let's run it. So we're going to do Control Space. Now you can see this thing is automatically running. So you can see that it starts to record right away my voice. And so it'll just keep recording and recording, and so on. Now if I want to stop, I could just press the space bar, and then it stops. Okay. Now if I want to edit anything, I could just double click on it, or just highlight different text that I want. I can change it and so on. But let's just start all over again. We'll just do that. And by the way, the keyboard, if you forget what those keyboard shortcuts are, space, it says it toggles the microphone on and off only when the cursor is not in the prompt box, because then the cursor takes on a different functionality. It's actually a space. So that's why it's a little bit context dependent. only if it's in here will it not control the microphone. If you're out here, then it will control the microphone. And then enter will always close the pop-up and send it down to AI, whatever chatbot you're working on, whether it's ChatGPT or Perplexity or Claude. I can add another one if you're interested. Just let me know, and I'll just see if I can hook it up for you. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to, and then also give you another link here in case you forgot or in case you want to click here. This will take you to heading on over to some information on how you can change your default for the pop-up. Okay, so we'll close that down. We don't need it. All right, so now let's just do this. I'm over here, so I'm gonna hit space. All right, so sorry. Let me do this right. I'm gonna put my mouse here. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna go and I want to ask you a question, ChatGPT. All right, so I'm really interested in outer space, and I want to know why we haven't come across any space aliens. Now, on the one hand, you could say, well, space is so vast they could just miss us because we're in the Milky Way and some small little portion of it, not in Grand Central Station. But on the other hand, because it's so big, you would imagine out of the vastness of the universe, we'd at least come across one of them, right? So why haven't we come across any space aliens? I want you to give me 5 theories. Why? And among those theories, I want you to talk about the Fermi paradox. All right, so I hit enter and go. Now, you can see it wasn't 100% perfect. I said, hey, I want to ask you a question. ChatGPT. Okay. But for the most part, ChatGPT is pretty smart. It can figure all this stuff out. All right. So the great filter, rare earth, zoo hypothesis. The zoo hypothesis is a little bit like Star Trek, and they don't want to interfere. It's their prime directive. But there's another theory I want to talk about. Okay, those all look pretty good. Thank you so much. Now, I got another theory I want you to talk about. I think it's called about like the silent forest or something like that. The idea is that there are space aliens out there. They see us and they're aware of our existence, but they don't want to communicate with us because that's probably not a smart thing to do, because they learn through observing others that not all space aliens are friendly, and it's probably in their survival instincts just to lay low. Can you talk about what that theory is? So did you notice that when I talk and I pause, you have to pause because you can't keep up in lockstep. It has to process it. But you could speak for a little while and then stop, and then it'll catch up. And you can see that it also will auto scroll for you. And I showed you before where you can actually scroll up and change things. Okay, this is called the dark forest. Okay, right, good. All right, so we did pretty good there. Now I want to show you one more thing. I'll show you some advanced features. How about that? So I like swimming. I really like the Olympics. So I want to show you how you can ask a question and include other text. And I'm also going to add in a little bit of a foreign language in here too. Now I want to say up front that the that this pop-up uses a free API that's included. It's embedded in all the Google Chrome, so it's provided by Google, and it's free, so I don't charge you guys. And but this API is tuned basically to perfection for English. So the English has by far the lowest error rate for transcribing voice to text. Okay, so just be aware of that. Now, if you're going to work in another language, maybe Chinese or Spanish or whatever, you may experience higher error rates, and that's just part of this provided API that I use. And but give it a shot. Hopefully it'll work for you. I can't guarantee. Actually, I can't guarantee anything because I'm just using this as a service. I just want to provide this for free to you guys. I use it a lot. I love it because I find that I work on a desktop machine a lot when I want to do some heavy work, and I need that microphone. So anyway, let me just show you how that works. Okay, hey ChatGPT, I really love swimming, and one of my favorite swimmers is Kate Douglas. Now I'm going to show you an article below about her, and then I'm going to ask you something right now in Chinese. Okay, I'm going to stop right now, and then I'm going to switch on over. I'll show you how I could use different languages. Okay, so we're going to use that one. Okay, so 在下面的文章里面，我让你看一下，看一下，可以给我5个成语，比较适合下面的文章内容。Okay, I did okay. Take that part out. All right, now I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do a little bit more here. Okay, so 在5个成语，每一个成语我让你跟我说，中文解释。英文解释，还有发音、拼音，还有注音符号。Let's see if we can do that. That'll be amazing if it does that. Okay, so now we're going to go over here and we're going to copy all this, and we're going to go. And I'm going to paste that in here. So my point is, you can have mixed languages and you can stop it and paste things in there. You could just give it a prompt and say, hey, I'm going to show you an article below for this article below, and then you paste it below. I want you to talk about it. So you can combine a whole bunch of stuff here within this text box, and you just scroll up and down. All right. And there might be some errors in here, but I think it did pretty good. So let's just hit enter and see how it goes. All right, yeah, it's doing okay. 多才多艺. This first one I'm not too familiar with. 一鸣惊人. Aha, 注音符号 is pretty interesting. Okay. Okay, but I want to. Okay, sorry. Change it back to English, make it a little easier. Okay, here we go. Okay, I like it, but you know what? I want you to add one more thing here. I want you to include the English explanation too. As well as the Chinese explanation. And I want you to put the whole thing in table format. Can you do that for me? Thank you. Let's see what it does. All right. 英文解释. Okay, so here we go. 一鸣惊人. Okay, to become famous overnight. Okay, but she wasn't really famous overnight. She's been good for a long time. Unprecedented, I'll go with that one. Oh, I like this one. 前无古人. All right. So anyway, you can have fun with this. I don't want to dwell on it, but I just want to show you, kind of a full example. Now let's move on over to Perplexity, and we're going to go to Perplexity and check that out. And I'm going to use my control space bar. Okay, hey Perplexity, I got a question for you. I really love the Olympics. I want to watch the Olympics, swimming in particular, and tell me when the Paris Olympic swimming events start. When did they end? And I want you to please tell me every single day, day by day, what events will be swum. And I want you to say, is it prelims? Is it semifinals? Is it finals? Things like that. And I would like it if you could put that all in a table format. Let's see what it does. Well, it's doing it. All right, well, I'm going to have to add one more thing to it. Okay, so I also want the times. Like, I got the date, which is good. I want times. And I would like to see the times in what would be the time of day in Tynon. Good enough. Let's see if we can do that. I should be able to do it. Oh, did it? Okay, not bad. Not bad. Ooh, I don't like that. 2 in the morning. Okay, so all right, let's move on to the next one, and we're gonna do Claude. Now, I'm gonna do a little bit more of a. I'm gonna do like a real example here in Claude. Hey, Claude, I got a question for you. So I want you to please write a TOEFL-style essay, 5-paragraph essay for me. Now, the first paragraph's the intro, last paragraph's the conclusion. Paragraphs 2, 3, and 4 are the main points. Now, the topic of the essay is, when you graduate from university, do you want to work for a small company or a big company, and why? Now, my point of view is I want to work for a small company, and here's my first reason. The first reason is you'll have a lot more diverse opportunities in a small company. You can work across many different industries, many different functional areas, and the reason why is because small companies just are more nimble, and they'll take a lot of different kinds of projects, whereas in a big company, you could be compartmentalized in one single industry. Now, my second reason is I think you'll have a lot more leadership opportunities in a small company earlier in your career. Why? Because small companies are leaner organizations. And if you demonstrate leadership and you want to step up, they'll let you do it. Also, you'll have a lot more opportunities to mingle and be mentored by senior management just because it's a flatter organization. All right. Okay. So the third point is, I think in small companies, they're a lot more entrepreneurial because they're nimbler and they got to move fast. And I think it just would be a much more fun organization, much more collegial, and you could avoid a lot of that cutthroat competition that you experience in big companies. Did you see that? If I could go up and down on this text box and change it or whatever, and I showed you in that previous example, remember that? I could copy paste stuff in there too. All right, so this looks good to me, and then let me just send it down to Claude and see what it does. Well, it looks pretty good. I like the way it's laid out. And see, it does such a great job. Now, if you need to study for TOEFL or something like that, see, what's better than this? You don't need to go to Bushiban. So you say, upon graduating, firstly, secondly, lastly. I like that. It's very easy to read. And then in conclusion, do you see how it's all laid out so nicely? All right. So, by the way, this is not cheating. Why? Because you're practicing. You're practicing writing an essay. And then you could actually, I did this all in one step. So you actually could just say, you could just, have a conversation with it. It's like, I need to write an essay. And, these are my 3 points. Can you help me scaffold it? Can you help me just create an outline and so on? And then you do the next step and you build out and so on, so on, so on. But you get the idea. And this could be a really nice tool for you. I use it all the time. Because if I'm doing heavy work, I want to do it on the computer and I want the microphone. I don't want to have to type if I don't have to. So if you stuck around until now, till the end, thank you so much. If there's some other chat bots that you want me to work with and see if I can connect up, no guarantees. I'll give it a shot. If it makes sense, I'll try my best to do it. How about that? Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching.